obviously that's homemade mustard. And it's actually an insanely easy recipe to make, although there are probably 100 different ways you can do it. But it all boils down to mustard seeds that you have to get whole. And there are 3 types of mustard seed, 3. There are the yellow, which is called white. Then you have brown in the middle, which I don't have. Then I have black, which they're actually brown, but these are called black mustard seeds. These are the very spicy ones, and these are more mellow, but that's not the only difference. There is also a flavor profile difference between the 2. So we're gonna go with a mixture. Now you could put this in a liquid whole overnight in the fridge and let them soak. Then you get this whole grain, very coarse mustard, which is also nice, but that's not where we're going today. Today we're going to make in the direction of Dijon mustard, but not actually Dijon. And the reason that we are going in that direction is for our liquid component, we are going to use white wine. You could use cold water, you could use beer, whatever works for you or what you want to do with your mustard. And then we are going to use a little bit of apple cider vinegar, unfiltered. But there is a little bit of science to this, mustard science, as we could call it. But that is, we're going to grind them in our spice grinder in a minute. Once you grind it, then you start mixing in your liquid, and you mix it in cold liquid. But the longer you leave it in the liquid, the spicier it gets. And then when you add your vinegar, that chemical process stops. So it depends where you want to go. I like it spicy, and since my wife is not so crazy about mustard, I can do whatever I want. It's not like with the chili, so here I can go all the way to wasabi if that's what I want.
Go wherever you want to go.
Exactly. But let me put these aside, because in my spice grinder, I have 80 grams of the white mustard seeds and 40 grams of the black ones. So 25% black, 75% of the white mustard. And all we're going to do is to grind this up. And here is something you have to take note of, how coarse you want to make it. I don't want to have it totally fine powder. I want to have a little bit of grain left in it. You could go all the way, that's all up to you. So a small, nice ball, get it in, and then we're going to add 80 milliliter of cold white wine, and then we take a spoon. We might have to grab a little bit of water here, but that we will see. But we have to get this mixed up. When it's ground like this, it hydrates pretty fast, and this is still very dry, which is also the idea here. You can already start smelling it, so it's a good sign. So now we're just gonna let this enjoy itself here for the next up to 10 minutes, and then we're gonna add the vinegar, but see you in about 10. A good 10 minutes, and this is what you end up with here, and you see the liquid is coming out here on the sides. That's because it's hydrating, but don't fall for any ideas that, ooh, you wanna add more liquid right now. This is not the time, I'll explain it. 40 milliliter of vinegar, a bit of salt. You could also add some garlic powder if you want to. There are many things you can do to change the flavor profile here. You can play with this, it's a super easy condiment to make. And now you see the consistency here. This might not be the final consistency we are going for, but what's important now is once it's well mixed, don't start jarring it up just yet, because this right now is not ready to eat. First of all, right now it's super bitter, which is why I'm not tasting it. It has to go with some cling film, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge overnight, like this, cover it up nicely. And then tomorrow we will see the consistency. We might have to add a little bit more liquid because it will thicken up as it goes overnight and cools down. That's why I leave it in this one, and then we jar it up tomorrow. And there are recipes out there that also calls for boiling, cooking, this, that, and the other, and you have to can it afterwards and boil you don't have to do all that. Mustard is super antimicrobial on its own, and with a bit of vinegar, this is shelf stable for half a year in your fridge or even more. So into the fridge and see you tomorrow. So the day after, and here we have our mustard, and it smells perfect, but it's way too thick, as you can see now. It's like...
It's a paste.
It's a
not
paste.
Creamy, yeah.
But that's also the idea, because if you add too much liquid the first day, then it's difficult to get it thicker the second day. Of course, you could boil it, like also some recipes call for, but since that's not necessary, this is the easy way. Simple water, and then we start adding some water and mix it in until we get the consistency we are looking for, like mustard consistency.
Creamy and nice.
Creamy and nice, but not too thin. I don't want it runny either. I like it. This is somewhere between Dijon and whole grain Dijon, so I want it to be a little bit on the thick side. So you just go tablespoon by tablespoon until you have a nice creamy mustard. And then I think we are about there, right? That's about what you want. That's a nice consistency. Not too thin, not too thick. You want it thinner?
I would say it still looks
That's
like
up to
a
you.
lump of thing there.
No, it doesn't.
Just a little bit creamier.
No, okay.
And if you, in the
What?
in the mixer, if you would do the seeds more like powder, then it would be velvety creamy.
Of course, yes.
Oh, okay.
But I just chose to go somewhere in between because I like whole grain, let's say, not too coarse, but I like it that it still has some grains left in it. So that looks better to you?
Yeah.
Okay,
it does.
that's what we go with. So basically, then it's a question of mason jars, sanitized of course, and then we simply get it into those. So we get some nice, I think I'm gonna need some more actually, but okay. Now I'm gonna make the 2 here. So, and then the rest I will put afterwards. When we are finished.
And now it's ready for consumption.
Now it's
more or
ready for
less.
consumption. Now it's ready.
Uh-huh.
Now it's done. We don't need to think any more about that. We put that aside and give them a little shake.
They look beautiful.
And there you have it. Homemade, semi-whole grain mustard. But now I was supposed to take a teaspoon and start tasting this. But I'm not going to do that because that's not the right way.
No.
The right way to go is a couple of village sausages, Greek village sausages, beautiful. And we're going to do them Greek style. So they go in the oven with a nice amount of lemon juice. That's the good stuff.
That's the way to do it. To break a little bit the fat. You know,
You don't
need that.
always have to start up your barbecue to do nice sausages. Just like this, in a Pyrex, squeeze a lemon over top, like that.
Just grill it, baby.
And then they go in the oven, middle rack, 180 for probably 20 minutes, so we can taste our mustard with some good sausage.
Oof, that's gonna smell real fast, real good.
Perfect. See you in 20. Our beautiful sausages are out of the oven, cooled down to good eating temperature. So let me get one of those on the board here, and that's looking very good actually. So, first up, of course we need our mustard. So, a nice spoon of this, and look, now it's the perfect consistency.
Yes.
Creamy, but still stands up on the spoon. So let me get that on the board. And let's see what we do here with our village sausages. Ooh, they look beautiful. That looks really, really good and juicy. Super juicy sausage. On with the mustard, because that's what we're testing here. And let's see how well we did.
How spicy did you make the mustard?
That's actually nice. It's spicy. It doesn't kill you, like if you made it with only black mustard
I
seeds.
hope so.
Has a nice bite to it and a very nice taste. I like the consistency. Of course, if you want it smooth, you just blend it into fine powder and then you get exactly the same result, same procedure. Not too much liquid the first day. Fix the consistency day number 2 and it is shelf stable for a long time. Try it out, it's good fun.